Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show Tuesday nights, 9 p.m. here Eastern Time, and it is 6 Pacific Time. And the reason we say that is because we have Shari Ulrich with us tonight, who is in the West Coast in lovely BC in her crib. Beautiful spot. She was showing us her spot before the show, and now we're all envious of this lovely place where we live in this little suburbia brick wall jungle. So there we go. So Shari Ulrich. I'm hoping everybody knows who Shari Ulrich is, because if you don't, you haven't been paying attention to music for the last 40 years. And I think 40 years is about right. Maybe even longer, Shari, because I think you started in the 70s.
It's more like 45 now.
45. Mm-hmm. Back to Shore. That's your most recent album. So we're going to be talking about that and many other things. We're going to actually go right back to the beginning of your career and work our way through. So we're going to have Shari on very soon. But first, the most important way to start the show is with our news. So let's get started. Donald Trump is now wearing a mask. Can you believe it? We're wondering how he got his mask on. Some people here on 22 Minutes reckon they put a little glob of peanut butter in there, and that's how they ended up getting him into his mask. He already has blinders on, so we don't have to worry about him seeing. And did you notice he's had his hair done? I don't know if you saw any news today on social media, but he did a press conference today, and his hair is not orange anymore. It's more white. Speaking of getting your hair done, this dog here was at the groomer's, and before the groomer could finish the dog's head, the dog took a little bite out of the groomer, so the groomer decided to send the dog home looking like an alpaca. Not an Alsatian, an alpaca. Then I thought, maybe they should start doing the head first and work their way down. Maybe they got to rethink that. But I kind of like the dog looking like it is. I think it actually looks like Donald Trump now. We talked about this earlier, and this I get a real kick out of. Baby names parents regret the most.
Karen.
What was that?
Karen.
No,
Karen.
that no one is ever going to have a kid named Karen again. That after this show, we'll never be able to have a guest on our show named Karen either. But
This is Karen.
hi, Karen. Hey, Siri. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, jeez, I shouldn't have done that. But so, anyways, let's see. This is. Did you hear Siri? Oh, Siri.
Tell Siri
So let's get a look at this now. So this is my part. The reasons why people hate the names that they chose for their children. My partner picked it. So yeah. So your partner picks it, then you get divorced, then you get reminded about the name your partner picked for your kid. My parents picked the same name for their my friend picked the same name as me for their kid. Oh wow, big deal. 37% complained about that. Kid getting teased at school. Well, parents, that's your fault. You should have done a little homework. What called? Don't name your kid Bubba. A celebrity named their child it too. That's kind of ridiculous. But some of the top names that people regret: for a boy is Hunter, and a girl Aurora. I could see that. Imagine you name your kid Hunter and he grows up to be a vegan. That sounds terrible. Speaking about vegans, this guy here. This is what cracks me up about men and cooking. Men make one meal and they think they're a chef. Men guarantees the crispiest roast potatoes every time with unlikely ingredients. And I read this article and I thought, oh my God, what did he put on his potatoes? And it was honey and mustard. Like, that's not exciting at all. That's like you could put that on a ham or something. And this guy gets his...
I like them French fried potatoes.
This guy gets his name in the paper. I remember our kids, their grandfather, he used to cook ribs on the barbecue, and he used to make his own barbecue sauce. And his wife would do all the preparation, all the cooking and everything, and sit down at the dinner table, and he got all the praise for his barbecue sauce and his barbecuing. How ridiculous. It's just
Was it ketchup?
ketchup. Well, it could have been. That could have been the secret. No, it was Jack Daniel's secret sauce.
Real tomato ketchup.
This one, I love how these guys write these articles. Thwarts. Why do you have to? Can you write the article so I can understand it? Pizza shop owner thwarts robbery by tossing pizza at suspect.
Nice.
Absolutely amazing. Absolutely.
You know what? I think we have sound effects of that on tape.
Do we have
right?
it?
They caught it on tape. Yeah, we got. Oh, that pizza right in the face.
Oh, you got the video.
fried
You got
him.
the video.
Oh.
And to finish,
just audio.
and to finish it off, I thought this is an interesting one. Michigan man wins $2 million lottery jackpot after clerk gave him the wrong ticket. This is like the winner asked for a $10 Lucky 7 scratch-off ticket at the gas bar. But the guy, so he was given a $20 ticket by mistake and kept it. So he ended up winning. Now, see how it says he won? I read the article. It said he won $2 million, but $2 million would be over many, many years. So he took the $1.3 million straight up right away.
Right.
I don't know. Like, maybe, yeah.
I don't know.
So that is all. I'll take a lottery ticket. I don't play, but it would great. So anyways, that's the news, ladies and gentlemen. And now
All right.
everybody is here. Everybody is here. We are so formal. It's so
We're
good.
all here.
This is
There we go. There's the applause we've been waiting
There's
for.
our
You've been
audience.
waiting for that for months. Ladies and gentlemen, Shari Ulrich.
Woo!
Now
I gotta give you a clap.
There we
And
go.
I have my mic working. We figured out how to work my mic about 3 minutes before the show. So welcome to our show. And as you can see, if you look out Sherry's window in the back, there's these beautiful trees.
I'll have to show it
do
to
it-
you now.
do
And
it now.
hopefully not unplug anything. Okay, so.
Welcome to Cribs.
Look at that! Look at the
Look
mountains.
at that. Beautiful.
Oh,
Look at that.
there we go. There's the mountains. And of course, objects are closer than they appear.
And now look at Tim's. Tim's is just a Skype picture. That's not even real either. So
And I'm just sitting down.
and
in the
mine's
dark
not
here,
even
all
real.
by
My
myself.
background's not even real. And you've got the real background, and
Got
it's
the
better
real
than
thing.
it's better than
Yep.
all the ones we have. So
Well, I just got lucky and ended up here.
yeah, that's awesome. So how long you been out there?
I've been on this island for 27 years.
Wow.
25 years in this house. And in Canada for, I can't do the math that fast, but I came when I was 19
Well, let's not do the math.
from Northern
Yeah,
California.
Math.
I'm really, really glad I did.
You think? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're not flying your Confederate flag there on Bowen Island?
I'm flying, well, I could fly a Canadian flag. I feel pretty patriotic right about
Do
now.
you?
Yeah, I do.
Well,
I feel
you're-
so grateful to be here.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think-
we're doing a damn good job here.
Yeah, we are.
Well, at least in the West.
Well, we are doing pretty good here. I think we are. You obviously get pockets of people that you get. I guess you get you get a lot of people kind of in the middle too. That Alberta crowd is kind of iffy to me. Some of them are.
Iffy ever thus.
Iffy is a good word for.
For the crowd.
So okay, so we.
He said it. I didn't.
Oh, I'll say it. Listen, send me the mail. Send me the mail. Don't send it to Sherry. Send it to me.
Yeah, don't send it to me.
Sherry won't open it, and it won't get there because the island is protected. It's like what's that island? What's that? Alcatraz.
Alcatraz?
That's why Sherry lives there. It's like
We have a moat.
a moat.
Yeah.
There's alligators and crocodiles swimming around. So don't go to
Oh, yeah,
Bowen
you
Island.
gotta lower the bridge.
So before we dive into this, Mark, do you want to? Let's do this week in music.
Let's do this week in music. All right.
Week in
I can't believe we got all
Right.
these special songs written for the show.
Of course we do. Let's see here. Where do we start?
We don't have to pay that.
This
We don't
week-
have to pay your kid royalties for that, do we? That song.
Oh, geez. I hope not.
Don't explain royalties to
Now
him.
that you said that, and if he hears that, then yeah, we're going to be stuck with.
You're paying him. You got allowance.
This week in 1967, the Monkees. Everybody remember the Monkees?
Mm.
They started a 29-date tour with supporting act The Jimi Hendrix Experience. Does that seem odd to anybody? It did to me.
Amazing.
And Jimi Hendrix was dropped after 6 shows because he was not suitable for the teeny bopper audience.
Oh my God.
Too many
Yeah,
fires
that
on
is
the
one of
stage.
The strange
That's
ones.
awesome.
That reminded me of the last time Van Halen toured, and they had the supporting act of Kool and the Gang, which I thought was
Get
an
out.
odd combination
Recently?
as well.
Wow.
But, I don't know when that was. Several years ago now.
Sammy Hagar?
No, it was with
No.
Diamond Dave, and I think it was his choice to pick Kool and the Gang.
Sherry, you don't listen to Van Halen, do you? Do you listen to Van Halen?
No,
No.
no.
Because we have a running
We're not.
running thing with our guests. We asked if
Here we go.
you know that you probably won't get this, so there's no even point doing it. But who would win in a fight? Who would win in a fight between David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar? They're the two singers that sang in their band. We have this thing. See, we might
Okay.
as well be talking baseball right now.
Or
Yeah.
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
Or
Or
Spaceballs.
Spaceballs.
Whatever.
Careful. Okay, keep going.
Yeah,
Back to the music.
let's move along here. This week in 1983, the Police had the #1 single from this album. Can you see it?
Synchronicity.
Synchronicity. Every Breath You Take was #1 for 8
Great
weeks.
song.
And Sting won Song of the Year, and the Police won Best Pop Performance for the song, at the '84 Grammys. And let's see, this week in 1995, the Grateful Dead gave their last concert with Jerry Garcia at Chicago's Soldier Field. Jerry would die of a heart attack a month later while in rehab. I got a chance to see the Grateful Dead way back in the early '90s, and I got to tell you, wow, what an experience that was.
Never was a fan.
I'm not a huge fan, but I heard they were coming to town, and I said, I got to experience this. And wow, something I will never forget. I'll tell you that.
Must have been. You couldn't have been sober then.
I have some Grateful Dead stories for you when you're done.
Oh,
nice.
that's
Nice.
awesome. Now we're getting in the dirt.
All right. In 2015, this week, Phil Rudd, drummer with AC/DC, was sentenced in New Zealand to 8 months house arrest for drug possession and making death threats. He had recently put out a solo album called Head Job, which didn't do well at all. So he threatened all his employees he hired to help make the record. He ended up calling them up and saying, "I'm coming over to kill you."
Well, is that what it was? I remember that he was charged. He was
yeah.
Yeah.
So death threats and drugs.
Wow, that's hilarious.
Do a better job,
I
man.
mean,
Back-
not and sick, but
Yeah, crazy. 1999, we had the #1 song for 5 weeks in a row by Ricky Martin, "Livin' La Vida Loca." Who remembers that? Yeah,
I do.
Yes.
unfortunately. But there is an interesting thing here. This was the first #1 song to be recorded, edited, and mixed totally on a digital audio workstation. I did not know
Wow.
that.
Oh, I did not know that either.
Yeah, back in '99. Let's see. 2013, July 11th. There was this band called Pearl Jam. And they released a record. I've got it right here. It's called Lightning Bolt. And I just wanted to say that so I could say Lightning Bolt.
They
Toronto's premium Pearl Jam tribute band.
these two guys play in
I don't know
Lightning
if
Bolt.
anybody's heard of them, but got to get that word out. 1985, on July 13th. When was that? Yesterday? Was it the 13th? In 1985, at 12:01 p.m., the band Status Quo kicked off Live Aid. Anybody remember Live Aid?
Yes. And I actually remember them
Yeah.
kicking it off.
The huge benefit concert at Wembley Stadium in London and JFK Stadium in Philadelphia for the famine relief in Africa. Concerts were broadcast in 161 countries to over 1.5 billion viewers. Some of the bands that played were Paul McCartney, Phil Collins, The Who, U2, David Bowie, Mick Jagger, Queen, Tina Turner, The Cars, Neil Young, Tom Petty, Bob Dylan, Bryan Adams,
Everybody.
Hall & Oates, Lionel Richie. And the biggest attraction of this was Led Zeppelin performed for the first time since the death of their drummer, John Bonham, in 1980. 2 drummers filled in for Bonham. We had Phil Collins, who played with Robert Plant on his solo albums, and Tony Thompson. And the performance was heavily criticized for Plant's hoarse voice, Jimmy Page's out-of-tune guitar, and lack of rehearsal, and poorly functioning monitors. That's what they said.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't think they care.
Harsh.
I don't think they
Yeah.
cared either.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, and Phil Collins was the only artist to perform on both stages. He played live at Wembley, took a helicopter to Heathrow Airport, flew to New York, and then took a helicopter from New York to Philadelphia and performed there.
Lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Exactly. And this week in 1962, the Beatles played their first ever gig in Wales. And tickets for the show cost you a whopping 70 cents.
Wow.
70 cents to see the Beatles back in 62. And finally, in 1989, on July 14th, 1989, Tom Jones lost a paternity suit and was ordered to pay child support to 27-year-old Catherine Berkery of New York. The judge in the case was none other than Judge Judy Scheinlein. She was a New York family court judge before her reality court show.
That's so
September
unusual.
of 96.
Where
So
do you
what do you-
find
what do you
this
think?
stuff? Where do you get it?
It's so
That's all in my
unusual to be judged by Judy Judge.
It's not really in your head, is it?
Yeah,
Should
no,
we
it's
be
not really in
worried?
my
You don't want to know what's in his head.
Yeah, so yeah, that's it for. Oh, we got Judge Judy here. Hello.
Ow.
Oh my God. Where's this show
Okay,
gone?
That's this week in
Poor
music.
Sherry.
That's it for this week. Judge Judy. Yep.
Sherry's got that
That's great.
beautiful view, and she has to look at us. She
No,
turns.
I'm looking at the view.
She's looking out
actually.
there going,
Oh,
what the hell have
looking
I
out
got
the other
myself into? Okay, Grateful Dead.
Well,
Grateful
let me-
Dead. Let's go back. Grateful Dead.
All right, yeah. Well, I want to go back to the Beatles too. Well, I
Yeah.
grew up in Marin County, which
Mhm.
San Francisco Bay Area, in the
Nice.
late '60s and early '70s, which of course was a hotbed for all the music that was going on in those days. And Grateful Dead used to rehearse at this little funky, sort of it was kind of a cabin clubhouse. I was going to call it like a little cabin clubhouse at Muir Beach, which is a little beach near Mill Valley in Marin County. And we used to go out and hang out and listen to them jam. I was not actually a fan either, but in those days I consumed everything. It was later that I realized, actually, I don't really like that music.
We have to
and
be
the
careful
Beatles,
when
I
you say
saw
you
their
consumed
last
everything.
concert-
When you went,
Pardon?
you have to be careful when you say you consumed everything, and you're talking about going to a Grateful Dead concert.
Well, I'm not going to say anything else. And I saw the Beatles twice. I saw them at the Cow Palace in San Francisco, and I saw their very last stadium show at Candlestick Park.
Holy mackerel!
Nice.
Yeah,
Wow.
I did.
Wow.
Was it? Could you hear them?
No.
No.
It was all
Nothing.
screaming, right?
It must be
Yeah.
amazing what those guys would have had for equipment on the stage. Like you figure what they have
Oh.
today, what they had then. They a couple of amps and
Pretty
Yeah,
much,
it was crazy. It's no wonder they didn't tour for very long. There would be nothing musically satisfying about that whatsoever.
no,
Right,
no, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just looks like hell when you see it.
but to say you're there,
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
fun to be
that's
there.
great. Yeah. Wow. That would have been something great to experience.
so where do you want to start? Let's go back. So we talked about
Me?
yeah. Let's go through it. Let's go. So you were you're born in the
Okay.
U.S. You make your way to
Born in
Canada.
the USA.
Yes, and I was going to college. I was still living at home. My mom was off in Europe traveling, and I was living at home, and I was very active in the peace movement because it was the Vietnam War, of course. And then they started shooting students who were marching for peace on their college campuses, as in Kent State
Mhm.
University. And it scared the hell out of me, so I decided I should go. So I packed up the car, which of course was my mother's car. I just thought of it as the car. Packed it up with everything I thought I might need to live in Canada, which I thought was only wilderness. And if you wanted to live in Canada, you would homestead. So that's what I was prepared to do. I wasn't all that smart or well educated. I'm a little smarter now and a little better educated, but that's really what I thought Canada was. So I was a little surprised when I arrived in Vancouver, but it was definitely what felt like home to me as soon as I arrived. So I had I lived in a commune in Gibsons, BC for a while, and I was playing conga drum with a guitar player who lived on the commune. And we used to go to the Nom restaurant, which if you're a Vancouverite, it's still there. It's still a thriving vegetarian restaurant. So we used to play there on the weekends, and then I started meeting musicians, and I moved into Vancouver and realized that was what I was meant to do with my life. Yeah, so then I met Rick and Joe of the Pied Pumpkin, and then I joined the hometown band, and then I went solo, and then I met Bill Henderson and Roy Forbes, and we had a trio, and still do, but we only play every couple of years. And Barney Bentall and Tom Taylor, and I'm in a bluegrass band with Barney and Tom and 5 other people. And music is the best thing going.
Nice.
God, I love it so much.
Wow, that was like the fastest trip through your life ever.
Yeah, that was the brief Coles Notes version.
Well,
Okay, thank you. Good night.
so let's
Drive home.
Sherry wants to go. So I got to do the smoothie. So let's do the smoothie now. Now you mentioned the Beatles.
Okay, yes, let's get to the smoothie.
Now, I have listened to quite a bit of your music, actually a lot of your music. So I am, I guess, educated on the sounds in your music. So I put together a smoothie. So a smoothie is if we were to blend other artists together that sounded like you, we would get a Shari Ulrich smoothie. So I'm gonna throw a quarter cup of the I'm gonna throw a quarter cup of the Beatles in, because you got to have some there's Beatles in your music for sure.
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
An eighth of a cup of Carole King.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
definitely a quarter cup of Joni Mitchell in there. The lyrics,
Oh yeah.
lots of lyrics. And I've also
You're-
got a quarter cup of Carly Simon. And I think when I listen to your stuff in the 80s, I hear Carly Simon. There's a sweet sound. And definitely dusted with some Neil Young in there. And I think the activism, like you mentioned Kent State, Ohio, definitely in your music, I hear that. So,
Yeah.
that's what I would put in.
Well, now you need to add just a pinch of the Grateful Dead.
just
Just a
No, no,
pinch
no,
of it.
no. We don't want it.
Well, there is a jamming side to me.
Right?
That's
Yeah.
for sure. That I got from the Pied Pumpkin,
Okay.
and is
Just-
why I
just a
love to
dab,
play
just a
with
dab.
other musicians. Yeah.
We don't want to make the
So
drink too acidic. Too acidic. Get that.
No, that's why I said
I
just
thought
a
you were
tiny bit.
actually.
Just a little
I
bit.
thought you were going to actually play all those things at once. I'm really glad. to
Okay,
hear this.
yeah, I was gonna
This-
play them. No, we get in enough trouble when we play other people's songs on here.
Yes.
But
Oh, I see.
but I
Okay.
gotta tell everyone how I ended up meeting you, and we were in Halliburton, and I was doing a lot of work up there at the time, and there was a Home Roots concert. Now I don't know if Mark, Tim, you've been to a Home Roots concert before, but if you haven't, go source them out when we can get together and cram. It's not really a social distance event because everyone's crammed into someone's living room, but basically Home Roots is artists across Canada, and I guess they do it in the US, would get together and do a tour, get together in someone's living room or in their house, and there'd be like 20 to 30 tickets sold. And the artist would stay the night, but put on a show for everybody. And yours was the first Home Roots concert I think I went to, and I was completely blown away by the experience. Not only the experience was great, but the show was great. The stories, the songs, and I heard a lot of songs I've never heard before for the first time. And sometimes when you hear songs for the first time, you hear them and that's it. But your song stuck with me that night. And then after we were chatting, and then I found out, wow, this girl has got the wackiest sense of humor. And it was so funny. So we basically became friends after that. It's been awesome. So we saw you in Coburg, and I saw your recent live stream show, which was, I didn't see the last one because we had something going on, but the one before, your first one, I think.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
And it was so good. It was so good.
Aw.
And what was really great about it, and I think you nailed it because you were basically invited everybody in, and it was just like you were sitting there playing the piano or playing the guitar. It wasn't overly done, and it was so real. And everybody, I guess the gentleman, Mark was his name, that was hosting it.
Yeah.
He did such a great job on it. So
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was really good.
Yeah, it's good to have somebody co-host so that they can take care of all the Zoom business, and a bit distracting to live stream when you want to be talking to the people. If it's a Zoom live stream, you want to be interacting with
Yeah.
them and you want to read the chat, and none of that really goes well. It's just like if you were on stage, you wouldn't stop and be looking at your phone to see what people are saying, right?
Right.
It's odd. So yeah, it took me about a month and a half of when all this first started to research how could I do it so that it sounded good? Because so much of the early stuff that people were doing, it was almost unlistenable. It was so painful.
Yeah.
And I thought, it's music. It's an audio art form. It should sound better than that. So I kept researching various ways to do it and figured it out. I have an engineer daughter and an engineer son-in-law, so that makes it easy to have somebody to sound check stuff. But we just played last weekend, Barney Bentall and Tom Taylor and I played a live show, 3 1-hour sets, really like 75-minute sets to 3 different audiences outside at a working dairy farm. It was a bit odoriferous. And it felt so good to play with people.
Yeah.
It was, just...
You know what? Maybe
that's
maybe
really
for
what
some people it's going to bring it back for some. Maybe some people needed the disconnection from it to really appreciate how great it is to play. I mean, maybe not you, but maybe other people.
No, I think there's all sorts of silver lining things like that. Where taking the break, which I had never taken since I was 20 years old. I've never stopped and never, like Barney and I talked about it a lot, about how we're always feeling like we have to be moving forward. And so you're just constantly pushing that ball up the hill along with doing concerts and touring. And I have never stopped before. And it was so novel and so great, so restorative. I got so much done around the house, but really it was a very positive thing. And I think we're all kind of regrouping and trying to figure out, okay, so how do we move forward and what do we really want to do? And clearly there are limitations in terms of playing live. You're not going to be able to cram people into a room anymore.
Yeah.
Home Roots interestingly enough, Home Roots has pivoted to an online option that is, it's quite effective. And there's a lot of, I won't go into it because I don't know that much about it, but it's really interesting, the creativity that's gone into figuring out different ways to get music out into the world when you can't just, book a gig and go play for people live.
And I think the technology too, I think there's a race right now to be able to make these platforms better. I think the sound is the biggest issue right now. The screens look great, but you need the sound, and there's so many factors, right? There's your connection to the internet, there's your equipment and your platforms. And like I noticed, like when we spoke yesterday, we did a test. And I noticed that because of one of my softwares did an update, that one part wouldn't work with the other. And we had the same thing today. My audio wasn't working. And it's like last minute, you're going to go live. So it's like chaos. So I think we still got a long way to go. But everybody is, you know what? We're figuring it out. And like I said, your show was amazing. Like Lisa and I watched it and I was like, you know what? Damn, that was really good. And it might have been even better in a sense than a concert because it was so intimate.
It's so intimate. You're right there.
It's not that I would want to
what I'm
replace it
finding.
because I love the sound. I love the sound of the music and the quality of the sound and everything like that. But because you can't go out and do that live thing, this was an amazing backup plan. So I thought it was good. And I saw another one. Some friends did one from Kennedy Road. And they did such a nice job. And again, their interaction, like you were interacting with people watching. You were going through the screens. You wouldn't do that at a concert. You wouldn't be able to talk to somebody. But then again, people are in their living room and then they can shut the thing off and just go to bed. They can have a drink or whatever. So, hey, who knows? The future maybe be something. Maybe people just get used to it.
Well, it's going to be the near future thing anyway. I mean, I know a lot of musicians and bands are working it out. They're doing, they're trying these drive-in concert things and different ways of online thing. And like you said, the technology, I think, is going to start really booming and there is a race to sort of get it up to speed. And because
Mhm.
it is an audio, like you said, it's audio, it's music. You need it to sound as best as it can possibly sound.
Mhm.
And I still think there is a good way to go, to get it.
I
up
have
to
an
par,
idea.
but it's getting there, and it's getting there fast. So
We could do it. You could do
know.
a big concert on Bowen Island, and people could just park their boats around it.
You know
There'll
what?
be
That
lots
would
of-
work.
Yeah, that would work.
That would
Yeah.
totally
Yeah.
work.
Well, here's the thing I'm realizing is that, I'm willing to get in my car and drive anywhere to play outside or someplace where you can socially distance and everybody feels comfortable about it. But none of us feel like we want to get on a plane. Like that just feels like that's a bit of a risk, and of course everybody wants. I know musicians who that's their only income,
Yeah.
and so bars are opening, but they're not really a safe scenario. But the musicians who really need the work are sort of being forced to go into places that are really not safe in
Yeah.
order to make money, and that's not good either. I think what the breakthrough is going to be if they can get it so that we can play together. We can be in different places and play together.
Yeah.
That's going to be the
Without
breakthrough.
recording it.
sure.
Yeah, if you can pull that off, it would be great.
Yeah.
But I
that would
think
be
creativity is
fast.
going to win, and we have a local. I shouldn't say local. Well, he's local to me, but he's not. He's national artist Julian Taylor. I don't know if you know Julian Taylor. Julian Taylor out of Toronto. He is also DJ with Julian Taylor Band. He just put out an album, and it's been going around the world for him. So it's been doing great, but he's been taking advantage of the situation right now, and he's been pushing the album. So, for him it's worked. I bet there's some people that just gave up on the album before they put it out. They wouldn't even bother releasing it right now.
Yeah,
'Cause they
it's a
couldn't
tricky
tour it.
time to do it, or it's a good time because not everybody's putting stuff out there. I mean, there's always a glut going on.
That's
so
right.
Yeah.
It could go either way.
So I got to talk about some of your lyrics.
Oh,
I wanted to talk about one of your songs in particular.
Sounds serious.
It is. Well, it is a very.
yeah, I like
It's a
that.
very.
Nobody ever asks me about
No,
the
well,
specific
it's not
song.
really.
I like
I'm not
that.
asking you what the song's about. To me, it's obvious. But what I'm saying is, it's an amazing song. I think it's one of the greatest songs I've ever dug into the lyrics, and it's "Making Friends with Gone."
Oh, right, and I was going to play that for you. And
That
now I
song
can't.
is just stunning because it
Aw.
reminds. I've always thought to myself before I heard the song. I mean, I lost my father, and but I've never lost. I mean, I haven't lost a spouse, and the song is about that. But I always imagined, what is it like just to have that happen to you? What cut off like that? And this song spells it out, like the way you wrote the lyrics, like most all the food's been put away, a little soup left on the stove. And reading it doesn't do it justice, but when you sing it, it spells it out so beautifully.
Definitely doesn't.
Like,
You have to sing it.
no,
you
the
know
way
what's
I'm not going to sing
interesting?
it. No, but it does. Like the words are beautiful. I hear the last car leaving down the driveway and up the road, and it's like I remember when my dad where we had the funeral for my dad, and we all left, but we left my mom there, and she was left with this song, and what I imagined my mom was going through was exactly what this song says, and that's the connection I have to it. I think it's just beautiful. But it is people go listen to this song, Google it, Spotify, or better still, go buy it. But Making Friends with Gone is beautiful.
A couple of things about that song. One is that because people will often ask what comes first, the music or the lyrics, and they virtually always come together. But I sat down, I actually started to write it on guitar, not piano, which is what I play on it. Play it, you know what I'm trying to say. So I just strummed I was in an open tuning, and I strummed a couple of chords. I didn't intend to write that song. And there was a mood about those chords that led me to write that. And it was about
continue. Yes. Yeah.
it was
right?
and it was about that moment of when the memorial's over and all the people have been there, and the flowers are beautiful, and you wish that person was there to see all their friends, and then it's quiet and everybody's gone, and you realize now I have to make friends with this person being gone. And of course, death, this is a perky subject. It's just so final. And I haven't lost a spouse either, but I'm getting a weird echo. Stop that. That feeling of like gone is just so damn gone.
Yeah.
And you spend the next couple of years trying to adjust the fact that you can't. Every time something cool happens, you think, "Oh, I gotta phone that person," and
you can't.
Yeah. That's the most common thing people feel, especially about their parents. Oh, I can't wait to tell mom that. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry about bringing everyone down, but it's an amazing song.
No, I love that you put
now.
that
But it doesn't. It lifts me up. To me, it lifts me up because you have to move forward, and moving forward, you have the memories and stuff like that. Like to me, it was like my dad did so much for me. I carry it with me every day. So to me, I mean, maybe I'm a realist and I understand those things and appreciate life for what it is. So.
This is also what I find fascinating about music is that it helps us process something in a deeply emotional way that we don't necessarily access other ways.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't listen, if we're sad, we don't listen to music, happy music to cheer us up. We'll gravitate towards something that allows us to feel that thing that we're trying to keep at bay.
Right. We want to feel how we're feeling, but in a deeper sort of way.
Yeah.
And it can help get these feelings to go to a place or something where they need to go and sort of resolve yourself. Yeah.
And there's a
I
sweetness
get it exactly.
to it and a richness to it that I find that music is the only thing that really does that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's fascinating to me. Endlessly.
I can relate to that 100%. A lot of things that I've gone through in my life, and my first go-to for everything is music. Mm-hmm. And it's like you just said, it's depending on your mood, how you're feeling, and to what you want to listen to, and it's a savior for me anyway. I mean, I've lost myself in music so many times through so many situations and so many different things in my life. It's my life.
It's transformative. Like it
Right.
allows a little shift to happen in your
Mm-hmm.
It's not comedy, chords, and chaos anymore. It's comedy, chords, and therapy. Welcome to tuning into our show. We're gonna if you've recently lost a family member, we have some music for you to listen to. Oh, but then there's the other song. It's life, right? It's life. It's life? It's the title.
This life. Yeah.
It's fantastic the way you talk about the kids growing up, the cooking and everything like that, and cleaning. I think you even talk about cleaning in it. Again, just
I don't think so.
No. What do you mean you don't think so?
No, I don't talk about cleaning.
No.
But it is
doing the ironing.
I wrote that kind of about how when you're 19, 20 years old, when you're sort of getting launched, that at least for me, it was partly the era too, where I just kind of walked out the door and found my way to my life. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes the person's on that course through university or something, whatever. But sometimes people just need to throw themselves out there into the world and see what it is that they're supposed to do. And so it was a song about that time, because my daughter was also in that phase, and watching her negotiate that, which was far more organized than mine was. But
that song's very
I haven't
Beatles-ish.
written that song yet because I haven't even found the door yet. So
that song's very Beatles-ish.
I'm sure you have. Are you in your parents' basement at the moment?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I am.
Okay, right. You have not found the door. Okay.
And he's heading to the doghouse right after this.
Yeah, that's where I sleep.
But I find that this life is very Beatles-ish. It's almost very Paul McCartney.
Beatles-ish.
Very Paul McCartney. Paul McCartney really dove deep into songs. Like Penny Lane. Like he was very Broadway. He was very Broadway with his writing. Like he he really told a story with his songs. Like,
Well, the Beatles definitely had a huge influence on me.
Yeah.
I'd say above anything and anyone else, it was the Beatles, musically speaking.
they to me, they just, people don't realize how they impact each song they wrote, the lyrics, especially as they got into the middle of their career. Their lyrics, like Eleanor Rigby, for example, you listen to that song, it puts you right there. It's like reading a book. You're there. You've got the guy all figured out, Father Mackenzie, and all that. Like, it was amazing what they did. And
have you seen the film? Oh God, what is it called? The guy
Yesterday.
Who
Yesterday.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Yesterday,
I have.
yeah.
So brilliant.
Yeah.
So brilliant. And it's another way of expressing the testimony to how great that music was.
Mhm.
It is still great. It will always be great.
Yeah.
And that's just so unusual.
And there's people
for
out there
everything.
say they hate the Beatles. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
What?
They do. They say I think they're the same people that won't wear a mask.
I was gonna make a similar connection. but
They
I
fall
decided-
into the same category. If you don't like the Beatles, you're the type of person that's not going to wear a mask. I can't believe it. I've been deleting them off my Facebook for like killing flies this time of year.
I have
You're
never
still going,
heard
right?
anyone say that
What?
they hate the Beatles.
Oh, I have. I had a friend who
Really?
didn't like the Beatles at all.
Had hashtag.
Well, I
Yeah.
still have.
Yeah, you
I
can't.
have a, and they're probably going to figure this out who they are when if they watch this, and then it's over. The relationship's done. Here goes another one. The list gets smaller. But you know what's another great movie if you like Yesterday, but I don't know if you're a Bruce Springsteen fan.
I did see the film. His recent
Born
film.
no, the one Born to Run, and it's similar to what they did with Yesterday. It's a true story about a fan who wanted to meet Bruce Springsteen, and he lived in England, Luton, and it's an amazing movie. Yeah,
Check.
it's Born to Run, and I read his. Oh, I shouldn't say I read it because I listened to it because I'm not a very good reader. I listened to his audiobook with him reading it, Born to Run, and I have a whole new appreciation for Bruce Springsteen after listening to that book. You should write a book.
I'm going to.
Yeah.
Actually, I've already started, and then I
But you would
I've taken about a 5-year break from it, but I'm going to go back to it.
Memoirs? What kind of book?
Yeah. I don't think I'd be good at fiction. I don't know. But yeah, I got lots I like to say.
Yeah. But no,
A lot of stories.
Well,
but
Everybody's
then
making up their own
Now,
joke here, I think.
are they road stories?
well, my joke is that I have to wait for a few people to die first before I can write it. Because that's the tricky thing. I mean, my stories are all about people in my life, and I can't. There's some that I just couldn't really be. Fully
you know what?
disclosing
James
now.
Taylor
Names, you're good
just
to
said
go.
that. James Taylor. I listened to James Taylor's book that he did, and it was
So did I.
it was very short. I don't know if it was the first part or it was only an hour and a half long, but he did mention that he can't tell all the stories because people are still alive.
Yeah, it's very tricky, and I kept sort of bumping into corners like that where I'd feel like, well, I can't really do that, and then I thought, well, I could write it and then see how they feel about it afterwards, and it just got really tricky because, of course, every story I have involves people,
Mhm. Yeah, well,
and it's not my place to tell their story, but they're part of my story.
yeah. So yeah, how do you?
They're not going to tell it. You tell it, right? You know,
you
or intrigue your audience and then use it as a cliffhanger for book 2 or something.
or just tell me after, and I'll tell everyone next week. You gotta hear what Shari told me. But no, oh man, I love a good story. I love telling stories, and I've had a crazy life too. Like some of the things that have happened in my lifetime, and I think that's one of the things I loved about our band because we always had stupid things happen. And even years later, we would talk about them and we would be in tears. I think the first show we did, when we did this show back in, I don't know, when we did it March, our first week, because we've been doing it for a while now, I was laughing so hard I had to stop. I had my glasses off. I was laughing so hard and it was so funny, but I live for that.
What do you each play? What instrument?
Guitar for me.
A bass.
And I guess guitar for me when I stand there and hold it.
I
and-
guess.
Guitar, yeah,
And do
guitar.
you all still play?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Oh,
they're in a
Mark and-
Pearl Jam tribute band.
Mark.
oh
I
okay.
don't play anymore.
You should.
I can't sing.
Reunion.
I
feel
would
it.
do my own music. I do my own songs, but oh man, if I have to learn people's songs, there's so many people like Sherry and stuff just depress me because I can't sing like them, and I can't.
That's nice.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't
I'm
do it.
sure
Well, you know what? Like, I just don't. I just don't want. No, I don't want to do it. I would play my own songs, but to cover songs, no, it's too much work, and I'm not
Do
that
your own
great.
stuff. I mean,
Do your
Yeah,
do your own.
We'll do-
Absolutely. I mean,
maybe.
you do what you want to do. What makes
Well,
you feel good. What makes you happy.
I'm just
you know?
thinking.
If you don't want to play a bunch of cover tunes, don't do it. I mean,
If Jimi Hendrix can open for the Monkees, I'm sure
Right?
I'm sure we could open for Sherry. if Van Halen could have Cool in the Gang, hey, why not?
okay, but remember, Hendrix
I'm
got
not
booted
so
off
sure
the tour.
about
so-
that.
Yeah, see, Sherry knows already. She knows I'm an honest guy, and when I tell, oh my God, look, my wife just commented on the post. Hell no, don't give him any more ideas. Not playing. See, I can't. I'm not allowed. I don't have permission. She wants too many things done around here. No, but you know what? I don't. It's all the bull crap that comes with it. I can't deal with it. Like people like it, but it was like when we played in bars and stuff, and you're there till 2:00 in the morning.
Oh,
Oh my! If you're doing a
playing
show,
in
it's
bars is a terrible place to play music.
Oh.
Quite frankly,
terrible.
it's brutal, and it's not where music should be. But that's the way it's
But-
been since the beginning of time.
You know what I do
Well,
love?
the whole genesis of this show, Sherry, was kind of built around creating a platform where there's it's more of a
Proper
a
venue.
show. Yeah, proper venue where you get to connect with an artist. You have like yourself come out, play, and then you converse and get stories. And it's
Mhm.
it's like a just a real
Like a Tonight Show.
real-
Like a Tonight
Yeah,
Show. That's what I
exactly.
did. I did this back in 2011 to raise money for soccer teams. And I would put on a show up on a stage. I would interview the coach of the team. We would have live acts. We would do crazy things with the audience. And it was a lot of fun. And it was different. It wasn't just going to a bar and sitting and listening to 3 sets and everyone just gets drunk. That's the worst disaster in the world.
Yeah.
But also when you do those you're better off doing those home route concerts and you have 20 or 30 people sit there and devour your music than having 100 people in a bar not listen
I'd
at
go
all.
for 40. Go for 40.
40,
20
fill the
is
house.
too
Who
few.
cares about the fire regulations?
I had 70 once.
Really?
Wow, nice.
Yeah.
I've heard some people have done them
I've been
outside.
at a few high school parties like that. Playing in the band in the basement, and the whole high school shows up. I mean, same idea. A lot of fun.
We could get, do a live, Kelly says do Comedy Chords live location would be great. That's what we were originally going to do, and then we got so busy,
Yeah.
we didn't do it.
Yep.
And then the lockdown came, and everyone started doing stuff online. Actually, my wife and I, Lisa, we did it every day for a month. We went live at 4:00.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
We did it every
Yeah,
day.
every single day.
And we did Pictionary some days. We did. It was
They got
great.
in
We got
fights
into a
some days.
fight one
They
day.
had,
We got
marriage
into a
counseling
fight.
the next day. So.
I was told to F off in the middle of Pictionary live on Facebook. It was.
I hope you still have
That's
a
only
clip of that
because
one.
the women cheated.
It is. I put it
Only-
up on YouTube. If you dig into YouTube, it's
Mhm.
there. It's all there because I need it in case the lawyers come after me. I have evidence. But we did that. We did. What else did we play on? We did all kinds of crazy stuff on there. We did a lot of fun on there. We did cooking. We did live cooking in the kitchen. At nights we had a pizza party. We cooked bread. We made coffee. I showed everybody how to make different types of coffee. We had a lot of fun. But then I went back to work, and then the show ended. And then we did this once a
Are
week.
you guys speaking to each other yet, or?
We are. I'm in the
You and
basement.
Lisa?
Remember, the show's in the basement, and the air conditioning's on. So I think,
She's yelling at you to not to start a band, and
yeah, she's yelling
No.
at me. No, I know I can't. I'd disappoint. I'd let everyone down if I did that.
no,
I'd rather. You know
No.
what? I would rather
you
go
say
to.
that?
I'd rather go to someone's concert and photograph them.
right?
That I absolutely love that. I
Yeah.
connect with the artist, and I've made
Mhm.
so many friends and enjoyed so many shows more than I would if I can do more. I think going and helping somebody than doing it for myself. It is.
Right.
Lisa said
I'm trying to figure out what you said.
Oh, what I said? So am I. No, what I would rather
You do it more for helping someone
No,
than
I
you
would-
could for yourself. You could.
I figure getting up and play. If I went and started playing somewhere in a bar, it would be all for me right now. It would be for my enjoyment of playing it.
I see. Well,
And I
that's what
don't
it should
really,
be
but I don't
essentially
really,
anyway.
but I don't
Right.
really have the desire for that. But I do want to take pictures of artists performing because sometimes you get an amazing show and it works out. So I would rather do that because I enjoy it. I get the photos, and then they also get something in return. So that's my.
And
But
yes,
you also
we
have that
enjoy it
connection with
too.
the artist.
So I
Yeah.
gotta ask Shari one thing because I knew you won a Juno, but then I found out you won 2 Junos.
Correct.
So I need.
The first Juno was with the hometown band, so it was for our second album, and we had just finished a tour of the U.S. and we were flying home from wherever we were in the U.S. we were supposed to be heading to Ontario for our Canadian tour, and the record company A&M pulled the plug on the tour.
Bastards.
And we flew home to Vancouver instead, and we landed and found out that we'd won the Juno. And I never understood why they didn't wait for the Junos to pull the plug, because it would have made a difference to the tour.
Right.
Anyway,
And it would have
so
made
that
a
was
difference
the
to
first
them
one.
too, wouldn't it? Their artist wins a Juno, but I don't know. Can't figure out this record company.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Record company.
And then the second one was for they used to call it most promising female vocalist or maybe artist. I'm not sure. I can't remember. So yeah, I'm still promising.
You're always promising. So
Forever promising.
So I guess after the record company did that, that must have left a terrible bitter taste in your mouth with record companies.
Well, it did kill the band because the band was, unlike the other groups that I've been involved in, like with Barney and Tom and with Bill Henderson and Roy Forbes, that grew naturally. Like we did one show and we loved it so much, we did another one, and then 20 years later we were still playing together. The hometown band was quite manufactured because we had gone on the road with Valdi as his backup band, and we were just called the hometown band. We were just to support players. And we did 2 songs every night as a band, and one of them was Flying, which is the song that I'm most known for, that was written by Joe Mock of the Pied Pumpkin. And we came home, and Claire Lawrence and Baldy's manager, Cliff Jones, had sort of hoped that maybe that band would become a new vehicle for Claire. So when we came home, we added, who did we add? Oh, this is terrible. The other players. Doug Edwards and Robbie King and Jeff Ayre. Jeff might have been on that first tour, I don't remember. And we started to find songs and write songs, but I wasn't a writer yet. I wasn't a writer till this. I didn't write my first song till the second album. But and we already had a record deal ready to go, so it was it wasn't necessarily a great combination of people. I wasn't ready for it yet. I wasn't ready to be a front person of a band. I was terrified to talk to an audience, which you can tell I got over that. But I was really awkward on stage, and I was so young, and oh God.
Actually, I
Anyway.
remember there's one of your videos, I think, where you do flying. There's a video on YouTube.
Yes.
And I think
that was
that's,
with the hometown band.
and I think there you can see how you're like, I could actually see it, how, what? I got to talk to the audience? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I can
did
see
not
it.
talk
I
to
know
the
where you're
audience
coming
at
from
first.
now. Yeah, it's not like now. Now you don't shut up.
Now I won't shut up. Yeah.
We're going. Where are you going tonight? I'm going out. I'm going out to a 5-hour concert with 6 songs. But it's
So many stories.
But it is great. The stories are like when you did that show in Coburg or Port Hope or Coburg. I don't know where it was. It was out in the East End here. Man, the
Coburg,
stories
yeah.
just flowed. You told some amazing stories, and I mean, we didn't even get into it. The story about your adopted son, or not we didn't even get into that. Great story. So, but guys, go. So, we got one question.
It's almost like, okay,
One question: what type of venues have you played, Shari? What type of? I'm sure there's many. Any
of venues?
favorites? Favorites?
Oh gosh, I have played everything from what's the big, Massey Hall in Toronto, and what's the big stadium there, the older one?
The Forum?
Um,
No.
no.
Maple Leaf Gardens.
Yeah, Maple Leaf Gardens. We opened for Supertramp in Maple Leaf Gardens.
What?
But the littler ones like the Dream Cafe in Penticton, I love. I like to play for a listening audience, so it doesn't matter if they're sitting in theater seats or in somebody's living room, or a folk festival, wherever. I like playing where people are listening.
Yeah.
And
They're there for the music.
Yeah, I've been spared. I only had a really brief period post Hometown Band where the Claire Lawrence Band and I did some clubs, and that was it. I haven't played in a place where people are drinking and talking since. And it's not an ego thing. It's not like you have to shut up and listen to me. It's that I'm there to play songs. And
I agree 100%.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
What's the most fun what show have you had the most fun doing?
Oh my gosh. Well, the Pied Pumpkin was wildly fun. The Pied Pumpkin was like nothing you'll ever see again. And Rick Scott's one of the funniest people I've ever known, and big showman. And that had I write kind of serious songs. People cry, people laugh. The stories are the funny part to offset the sad songs. But the spirit of that band was, we made people so happy. They would just let go and dance all night long, and there was a joy to it that I've never experienced since in quite the same way.
That's the Grateful Dead influence.
That's right.
We're gonna make these people so happy, and they're gonna dance all night long.
All those consumables.
For me as a musician, it was how I learned to be in the moment with music, because I was often the icing on fiddle, mostly fiddle and some mandolin, and I used to play sax and flute. But I was the one who got to play on top of everything and improvise, constantly improvising. And so that taught me that aspect of music that I still love, and why I love to play with other songwriters, because I like to support them. And
well, you definitely love to play for the audience, and although it's amazing, like I said, I lost interest in it. Maybe I knew my limitations. I think that might have happened to me, but anyways, I've done a million other things and I love it. But with you just, it's like it's your first day when you go up there.
Yeah, it gives me so much joy.
Yeah.
It never fails me. I mean, as long as the sound is decent and people are listening. Mostly it's about sound, which can't be underestimated. When it sounds good on stage, then it almost doesn't matter what it sounds like out front. They're going to get a great show.
Especially when you're really good too. That's when because it is, and I think that's it. Listen, I'm gonna toot your horn for you. You are an incredible singer and musician, songwriter, obviously. But when you're up there, like, it's solid. Like, it is. Like, I mean, it is. It's fantastic.
Really
I want people to go listen to your music, and if it's all right if you haven't listened to Shari's music for 20 years, now you can go jump and listen to it.
You got a whole back catalog to enjoy.
Yeah, you can sit and listen to forever.
There's lots of it there.
Is. There's lots of it. Well, this has been great. Jesus, almost an hour, so we got to let you go because you got to.
We need to wind up. Oh, damn!
We don't have to.
I thought we were here all night.
We can be, but your pool's not going to get done, and
I would have paced myself.
You'll have to come back again one day.
I'd love to.
We'll do it again.
Sure,
yeah,
that'd be great.
Well, when a few people die, we'll get you back on, and then we'll tell all.
We'll dig
deep. Just give me.
Yeah, clearly we have more to talk about.
Just give me a list of all the names, and I'll just keep checking the obituaries. And I say, listen, I got 4 people. We got an hour here. No. Oh God, now I'm laughing. Look, I'm crying again. Anyway,
so am I supposed to go and then you guys keep talking? Is that what's happening?
No, we all go together. What we're going to do is we'll end the show, and you'll still be in there, and then you can go. We'll see you after. First, I'm going to end the show.
I don't like to miss anything, so I don't want you guys having fun without me.
No, so we're gonna. So stay around after the show. Don't jump in your car and take off like Elvis or anything like that. Just don't go outside in that beautiful weather. Yeah. Okay. So, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning into our wonderful show. Oh, I got it. One thing, people, if you're watching, go check out on Facebook Human Initiative Program. It's my new charity for the people in Kasai, Uganda. You got to go check it out. Go help. We've already raised about $400 in one day. So go support that. We'll get into it on another show, what it's all about, but go check it out. It's Hip to Give, Human Interactive Program.
Hip to give. That's good.
Yeah, so let's go check that out. So anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Tuesday at
Nice
9
to meet you
o'clock.
guys.
Thank you so
Nice
much,
to see you,
Shari.
Mark.